Endosperm, different types and its biological importance. An endosperm is formed when one of the male gamete fertilizes with the egg to form a zygote, while the remaining sperm or the male gamete fertilizes with the two polar nuclei, resulting in formation of a primary endosperm nucleus, or it is also known as triploid endosperm cell. Endosperm is a nutritive tissue stored in the seed for the embryo and is formed by fusion of one male gamete with the polar nuclei, and it is rich in food reserves and are compactly arranged without intercellular spaces. The cells contain reserves such as carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, though the ratio of these components varies depending upon the species. Endosperm plays a nutritive role during the development of embryo. It provides nourishment to the embryo from pro-embryonic stage till it becomes self-sufficient and completes development. Endosperm is found in two groups of plants, namely the angiosperms and gymnosperms. In gymnosperms, the embryo is formed before fertilization. The endosperm is formed before the fertilization and it is haploid. The endosperm is absent in few families of angiosperms like Orchidaceae, Podostema ac. In some seeds of the endosperm is used up by the developing embryos, and the seeds without endosperms are called as non-endospermous seeds or non-albuminous seeds. In some seeds, the endosperm may persist in the seed up to the stage of seed germination. Those seeds are called as albuminous seeds. So, therefore, the seeds are classified into two types, namely albuminous seeds which possess the endosperm till the stage of seed germination. The other type is non-albuminous seeds where the endosperm is completely utilized by the developing embryo. Coming to the development and types of endosperms. In angiosperms, the endosperm is formed after fertilization and it is triploid in nature. It is due to the fusion of one male gamete fusing with the two polar nuclei to form primary endosperm nucleus or triploid endosperm nucleus, which later develop into endosperm. The structure of endosperm. It is generally triploid in angiosperms and diploid in gymnosperms. In some plants, it shows variation in ploidy due to difference in number of polar nuclei, which may be 1, 2, 4 or 8 depending upon the type of embryo sac. The number of polar nuclei contributing to the formation of endosperm is 1 in Enothera, leading to the formation of diploid endosperm. In Peperomia, 8 polar nuclei contribute to the endosperm development, and hence it is having 9 nuclei. Structure of endosperm. The cells of endosperms are thin-walled, large, isodiametric, and store large food material. This storage of starch, oil, and proteins has been noted in the cells. The nuclei of these cells become disorganized due to the deposition of food reserves. In mature seeds, the endosperm represents an inactive tissue. Endosperm in some species is rich in starch. Example, wheat, rice, or protein, as in case of grams, whereas in others it is forced with lipids. Example, castor, coconut, etc. Endosperm is classified into 3 different types on the basis of their mode of development, namely nuclear endosperm, cellular endosperm, helobial endosperm. Nuclear and cellular type are found in dicots, whereas helobial type of endosperm is seen in case of monocotyledons. In case of nuclear endosperm, the primary endosperm nucleus undergoes several mitotic divisions without cell formation. As a result, wall formation. Therefore, a free nuclear condition exists in the endosperm. Example is Capsella, Coccinia, Arachis. Cellular type of endosperm. In case of this, the primary endosperm nucleus divides into 2 nuclei and it is immediately followed by wall formation. Subsequent divisions also follow cell wall formation. Example, Helianthus, Adoxa, etc. Helobial type. In case of helobial type, the primary endosperm nucleus moves towards the base of the embryo sac and it divides into 2 nuclei. Wall formation takes place, leading to the formation of a large micropyle and a small cellageal chamber. The nucleus of the micropylar chamber undergoes several free nuclear divisions, whereas that of the cellageal chamber may or may not divide. Biological importance. Most of the seeds possess endosperm as a reserve food material. The young endosperm is rich in food materials. It regulates the precise mode of embryo development and nourishes the developing embryo. During seed germination, the food reserves stored in the mature endosperm gets digested to support the developing embryo that forms the seedling. In some plants, the seed coat and the fruit wall are consumed by the endosperm. The exposure to sunlight results in development of chlorophyll in species which have thin seed coat and fruit wall. Endosperm is found in most of the angiospermous plants. Coming to the biological importance. Endosperm usually occupies major portion of the grain, that is around 87%, and the elyuronic form, that is 10% of the total endosperm. The aleurone layer stores lipid and protein. During seed germination, the hydrolytic enzymes are produced in the aleurone layer and are released in the starchy endosperm for digestion and use of embryo and the seedling. In barley and other cereal grains soaked in water, release gibberellins from the scutellum of the embryo that diffuse in the endosperm. The aleurone layer respond to the condition by breaking down the protein reserves and secreting enzymes, namely amylase, into the starchy endosperm. Endosperm has an important role in the developing embryo. Summary. Endosperm is a triploid structure found in most of the angiosperms. It acts as a nutritive tissue and supports the developing embryo on seed germination. It nourishes the seedlings till it becomes independent. Seeds or grains of cereals are full of starch. However, in mature seeds of legumes, no traces of endosperm is seen, as most of it is used by the developing embryo. On the basis of development, endosperm can be classified into three types, namely nuclear, cellular, and helival type. Mostly, the endosperm is triploid in nature, but in some species it can be diploid or polyploid in nature. Histologically, endosperm is made up of thin-walled isodiametric cells which store large amount of reserve food materials. Thank you.